The next scene is going to be me walking away from the camera into a field of snow, maybe like 30 yards. And then I'm gonna walk back. But I'm gonna split that into two different scenes. I'll probably do the walk back scene first, and then the walk away scene more towards the end of this feature-length movie. I changed my mind. This will be the last scene shot for the movie because, I don't know, I just didn't want to run the risk of not having quite enough footage. So, a little more filler for the filler-filled movie. May all your filler-filling dreams come true in the making of this movie. Wow, that is pure ice. I am walking on pure ice right now. Oh yeah! Yeah! My publicist told me that naming the movie a winter movie might back me into a corner, but I like being backed into corners. Here's some snow. That's the plan. Will my boots get a little snow on them? Yes. But it's worth it, Nutcracker. Don't you see? That is cinema. And I can overlay, me saying something or me pretending to be you, the Southern Nutcracker. Where's the Yankees? You're gonna be in a feature-length movie. How do you feel about that? The winter movie has been mostly locations that I filmed other skits for the Tacos channel. And everything, jeez. Oh my God, the wind is so bad. The Tristan podcast has occurred in this vicinity before. I don't think we did it in this part, but anyway. This is what happens when it snows. Not everything has to be about the snow when it comes to winter. There are other things like the wind. This is going to be in my 90-minute movie. Cutting through your bones, making your skin feel wretched. That's what winter's really about. I hope we've really captured the winter spirit, because winter is a time when we should all remember that being cold sucks. This is the beginning of the feature-length Tacos channel movie. It will be 90 minutes long, at least. Because that is what a feature-length movie requires. Length. So, let the movieing commence. Let there be movie for all. Being cold is the worst. You are truly lucky to be in this movie. It is your honor to be a part of this film. Nobody likes to be cold. My publicist told me that I really backed myself into a corner by naming it the winter movie. But I'll show her This is a movie, feature length. She doesn't know the camera keeps moving with the wind. The winter movie will not be stopped by the wind. My publicist controls the wind, and she's trying to stop the winter movie. Remember, your line is, "I am here to vanquish the Rat King." So remember, winter is a time to look at lights in the cold and use props and decorations to make people think that your movie had a higher budget than it actually does. The winter movie. Welcome to the winter movie. I am Tristan, and I am the star of the winter movie. The winter movie was made for no other reason than to be made. You ever just do something for the sake of doing it? That is progress. It's truly a magical time. I am so cold. I will defeat you, Rat King, if it's the last thing I Nutcracker do. But my publicist is wrong. I have not backed myself up into a corner. I have all four corners to work with in the winter. That's the beauty of winter time. It's that corners become bigger corners filled with snow that won't melt because it's all tucked in the corner. Winter, winter, winter. It's a winter movie. You are the ones who are watching this. I would never watch this. My shoulder's getting tired from holding the tripod that is holding the camera. So, we need to make this feature-length film something. And that something, it's something. It's important when making a feature film to also have some night scenes. So this is a night scene. Enjoy the movie. It's a winter movie. Sometimes the best answer is filming in the winter. I want you to remember that. The winter movie is sometimes the best answer. I hope you are enjoying the movie. I know I've said that a lot, but I really, really hope you're enjoying it. That's why I keep saying it. Not to make this longer than it should be. It's because I am sincerely concerned with your enjoyment of this movie. So enjoy it. This was filmed right after the intro, but I was trying to melt the snow a little bit to show that time has passed, but all I did was break off some pieces, so it is smaller, but it did not melt the natural melty way. I hope you are enjoying the movie. Enjoy it. Enjoy the movie. Enjoy it. When making a feature-length movie, remember, 90 minutes is the requirement for it to be considered a feature-length movie. Anything is history that's recorded, right? This will also go in the making of the feature length, which may or may not be also a feature-length movie. Make sure that the winter movie becomes a winter classic, and that'll be the name of the sequel. The sequel to the winter movie will be the winter classic. It'll be a prequel. Winter, winter, winter. The magical winter, freezing wind right in your face and on your hands. It makes metal colder. It makes everything cold. And what is cold but the absence of heat? So it reminds us that cold is in your mind, and you should truly appreciate the warmth. A warmer winter. This is going to be a series of movies all about winter. And eventually we'll use fake snow, so I'm not so cold. Next time you want to really get that winter feel, you're going to watch the winter movie. Because that's how you get into the spirit of winter. The spirit of winter is upon you. Let the spirit of winter engulf you. May you. I'm going to go a little off script, since there is no script. Am I still the writer if there's no script? Whoa. That's the question. What makes you a writer? I will still claim to be the writer. All words spoken in this feature-length movie will be credited to me. People don't realize that when you are making a feature-length movie, things don't always go according to plan, okay? The geese were supposed to, go into a pyramid shape at this point, but they're untrained. They are, they're geese. Truly cherish the spirit of winter and all that winter provides you. Like the cool winter breeze, the terrible, chilling freeze that is winter wind. May it engulf you and blow you away. This is the real deal. Winter, winter, winter. Let's all celebrate the winter. I don't want to be cold every time I'm filming one of these winter movies. The winter classic, I'll probably wear a top hat. The winter movie is truly what winter is all about. Winter is a magical time where the wind cuts right through you and makes you feel like it's even colder than the temperature really is. There's no wind chill factor in the other seasons. It's a winter thing. We live in an age where birds and humans train each other. This might not be monumental history, but it is definitely history. People don't realize that the birds train us. Have you ever had a bird flying over your head and then it poops on you? It's bad light. So you can't comment on a movie. Should I shut off the comments on my feature-length movie? That's conditioning. But there is no pen hitting paper. There is no typewriter. This is either ultimate cinema or the opposite of ultimate cinema. Now that I have 54,000 subscribers, there's a chance that my terrible feature-length movie will get views. They are doing that for a reason. The birds know, and we know. The birds and the Tristan. There's got to be somebody out there, right? If you built the Verrazano Bridge, I want you to leave a comment saying, hey, I built the Verrazano Bridge. And then I'll reply to your comment and I'll say, I didn't. You got that one on me. But this is a feature-length movie. May everybody enjoy the rest of the movie. It only gets better. Because you can only get better from the absolute worst. When watching this in HD, I want all of you to really zoom in on my face and look at it. Because this is the face of a person who's making a feature-length movie. What's the opposite of Ultima? Ultima. What's the opposite of ultimate? This is the face of a person who is getting cold, nervous about the bird sounds. This is the face of a person who figured out that if you lean the tripod against your leg, it stabilizes the whole filming process. Your hand might be cold, but at least your shoulder is no longer straining to hold up the camera that was filming you and the ocean and the birds. You might be cold. If you can't make the best movie ever, then you might as well make the worst movie ever. But you're not as cold as the water. And as your hand gets colder, the whole leaning against your leg thing is compromised. But in order for it to be considered a movie, it must be 90 minutes long. These are the requirements. I can totally make this movie happen before the end of the year. There are enough minutes left in the year to get 90 minutes of footage. So, we go for it. The ultimate Steadicam. Who needs a selfie stick when you have a tripod, which is way harder to grip, but that's okay. This is movie magic. But sometimes you need to push through, and sometimes you need to accept the fact that you need to switch hands and put the other hand in the pocket, and then you could film even longer. This is a boat. I don't want to film the boat. I want to film the bridge. This is the Verrazano Bridge. This is cinema. Taking a nice walk in winter. Hot boy winter. Built by Verrazano when he was searching for the Northwest Passage or something like that. I wonder how many people built this bridge, you know? I think that's what I'm gonna go with. The walk away and walk back narration will be that of the Southern Nutcracker. How many people can say, hey, I built the Verrazano Bridge? But that's okay. Everyone is seeing movie magic happen right now. We are making a movie. I've had this idea for a little while, just to make a feature-length movie. But now that I have 54,000 subscribers, the birds, I don't think they like my voice. I'm thinking we get rid of the hat. The tripod is so cold right now. I'm so cold. They say that torture is the birth of invention. You struggle for your art sometimes and you become pale and red in the face, and then people respect you. People respect the fact that your tolerance for cold is higher than their tolerance for cold, and then unite under the winter movie, and you start thinking about things. Not necessarily coherent thoughts, but you think. They're losing the fight. I should have worn a hat. I have a coat in the car. I used it for other portions that I filmed today. But I don't know how much longer I can really keep up sitting on this bench. It's so cold. I'm reimagining the Nutcracker as a Western. How good are you with a revolver? This is not an intro. This is it. This is the movie. Movie magic. And then my New Year's resolution could be to make a better feature-length movie. That is the goal. But if you can, do it in a southern accent. To make a terrible feature-length movie and then make a better feature-length movie. That is the Tacos Channel way. How quickly can you learn archery? To make something and then to make something better than that something. Why? Because life's a competition. Anybody who tells you otherwise is losing. This is kind of a one-shot deal. I don't have many opportunities to film with a Nutcracker, so something's going on in your head. And then your hair freezes. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Everybody freezes sometimes. There are a lot of birds around. And thus concludes this portion of the feature length. It was in my youth that I knew I wanted to be a Nutcracker. What, no drums? We need more bird cooperation. We need more fences to prevent people from falling into the sea. Otherwise, what are we doing, you know? When we're not paying attention and just keep going forward for the sake of going forward, and then we fall into the rocks. Figuratively, I'm not gonna do that. I pay attention. But not everybody has the guts to be a Nutcracker. being a nutcracker in the South is nothing short of humiliation, of degradation, of the nutcracker in the South. If you were a nutcracker in the South of Georgia, then you would know that Savannah's no place for a nutcracker. Nutcracker in Savannah, nutcracker in Savannah, nutcracker in Savannah, Georgia, United States of America. Remember, the winter movie is feature length. You can't take that away from me. I should make this last longer, but maybe that one will stick around, you know? Maybe it's a holiday thing to have 2 nutcrackers outside, but they always have one. I didn't care one way or another. I mean, you know, I cared in the sense that I wanted the footage, but if it didn't happen, I would have gotten over it pretty quickly. I knocked off a little more snow from it. Again, this is only seconds after the second part of this, but, you know, I wanted to really milk the whole milking thing, you know? What better thing is there to milk than milk? That's the way it goes. My hand's starting to get cold. But like I said, I've only been holding it for a minute or two. So, you know, milk. And so starts the second act of this hour-and-a-half movie. A half an hour has been filmed and mostly edited. 33 minutes of footage is theoretically in the books. There was some editing done. There might be some larger portions that are less cinematic than the brief editing I've done already. But you learn things as you're making a feature-length movie. One of the things you learn is it's a lot easier to make and edit footage when you're not putting your heart and soul into it all. This movie very much so lacks effort and caring about the finished product. It's like a book report that you really just don't care about, but you don't want to lose points by not submitting it on time. The movie has a name. It's the winter movie. So gathering winter footage while there's snow outside is a driving force right now. This is a wintry scene. The snow is real. Look, I'll you see a little bit. You can see my foot now. Look, I moved the snow. and I've picked it up. I moved snow with my foot, and I've picked it up. It's a rather warm day. That's why there's so much fog. But anyway, there you go. Still mostly ice over there. There has been change to the wintry scenery at the start of the second act of this feature-length film. I'm going to really draw this one out because I want to finish filming this movie. So I'm gonna do some more snowballs. That's on camera. Look, more snow in my hand. This second act is really going to be snow heavy. This snow is heavy. More snow on the ice. I can move the camera back and get a wider shot, which I will probably do. I just really want to film 30 minutes of footage right now so that I can plunk it into my movie as the second act. I don't think I'm gonna quite reach the 30-minute mark on this filming session, but you know, how about a third of a third, you know? A nice solid 10 minutes of me doing this. More snow. Oh, that's a big one. More snow for the second act of this movie. The second act of this movie really encapsulates the spirit of this movie, which is that it's a winter movie. What says winter more than snow? Nothing. When you think winter, when you draw a picture of winter, there's snow. This is truly winter in my hand. Making the winter movie has opened up my eyes into how much I use the snow to get across the idea of winter. Nature versus Tristan, it's a stalemate. Nature can't beat me. I'm filming nature. I'm using nature to make a movie called The Winter Movie. A winter movie? This is winter movie. That winter movie? What winter movie? I don't like that one. The second act is a perfect time to reflect on the first act. The first act, we were deciding the name of the movie up until a certain point, and then we decided on it. It's a winter movie, and the sequel will be called The Winter Classic. But before we make the sequel, we need to complete the second act of Winter Movie. Knowing what I know now, would I do anything different for the first act? Chances are no. The original goal was to put together 90 minutes. Putting together that first 30 minutes was truly a labor of labor. It was just labor. Do I love this movie? No. Do I hate this movie? Of course not. I just want this movie to exist so I can make a better movie after it. And that is the true spirit of the Tacos channel. Whatever is up there and gets views, I can probably make something better because nothing is particularly good on this channel. But I still have 54,000 subscribers, so remember, if you post something, somebody will watch it. That is the message I want to get across with the Winter Movie. Once it's up, it has a better chance of being viewed than the stuff that doesn't get posted. And that's reality. Time for another snowdrop. Snow. Snow. Snowdrop. Ugh. As we approach the third of a feature-length movie, remember, the snow is real. The movie is real. You may not like it, but it is posted with one entire act and now a third of an act. Will we complete a whole 90-minute movie? 5,400 seconds of cinema? Time will tell. But for now, the Winter Movie is still in production. I think I'm going to end up filming something in front of a pile of snow that they pushed up in a parking lot because, you know, the weather is wacky. It keeps on melting. But those parking lot mountains, they stick around for a while. They will get across the winter feel that this movie requires. This is truly a movie of doing the bare minimum to get 90 minutes of footage. May the snow keep my movie more interesting than if I just called it a movie. It's a winter movie, not just a movie. I'm not picking up any more snow. My hand's cold. This is real. This is a real movie. Wonder how much my voice travels. There are certain themes that have been hit on in this movie. Probably a lot of themes if we really, dive into it. Or zero themes. It's one or the other. Either there are too many themes or there is no theme. There's no in between. No in between. This is the Winter Movie. The winter movie is all about winter movies. Well, it's all about this winter movie anyway. Hot Boy Winter. We are making winter history, winteristory. This is a movie. This is a movie that you are watching, and the winter classic will be a prequel to that movie. It wouldn't be a winter movie without climbing to the top of a snow mountain in a parking lot. I guess that means I have to climb to the top of the mountain of a snow pile in a parking lot. So I have done the thing that I said I needed to do in order to make this a true winter movie. Before the wind knocks over my camera, which has happened so many times. Filming the punt scene was more difficult than I thought it would be, but that's okay. This is the winter movie. Winter movie is where dreams come true. I will get closer to it and create more filler for this movie that is already nothing but filler. The things I've learned while filming the winter movie are as follows. Putting together 90 minutes of footage is not that difficult. It's uncomfortable to do it in the cold, but if you dress appropriately, it's significantly easier. I've learned that my camera is stronger than it looks. It has fallen flat on the ground so many times. It's a little cracked now, but the camera is the true hero of this movie. The tripod is flimsy and falling apart, so I'm kind of like the tripod and the camera. And the pile of snow that I just climbed. And I'm also me. I have gotten an hour-ish worth of footage that is edited now. And I've also learned that a feature film is anywhere between 80 minutes and 180 minutes. So I will definitely think about making it only 80 minutes long because editing is not fun. I don't like editing. What else have I learned while filming this winter movie? I have learned that snow is cold on the hands. I already knew that. I didn't learn that doing this. But anyway, I think one more climb of the mountain is in order. So if your dream is to punt a football through uprights in the snow, you know, you can do it. I believe in you. It's not my dream. I'll do it a little bit more dramatic. I'll come from the back. Am I still on shot? Oh man. I was significantly less graceful than the first one. But that's okay. I'm not as much in a rush to come down. I didn't care one way or another. I mean, you know, I cared in the sense that I wanted the footage, but if it didn't happen, I would have gotten over it pretty quickly. This is the winter movie. The winter movie is all about winter movies. Well, it's all about this winter movie anyway. Oh, yeah. It's good for the knees and the soul. All right. Time for a cut angle scene. Before we do the cut angle scene, I would like to get the sunset in the background with my purple hat. This is movie magic right now. You are all watching movie magic because when you have the sunset in the background, it just makes everything that much more heartwarming for the audience that is watching this happen right now. Hiring this truck to drive in the background was truly most of the budget of this movie, but it was worth it. $10,000 well spent. I hope you enjoyed the truck driving in the background because that is where most of the money of this movie went. That truck refused to do it for anything less than $10,000. To which I replied, of course I will pay you $10,000 to drive in the background of my movie. Why wouldn't I do that? Who wouldn't pay $10,000 to have a truck appear in the background of the winter movie? That is why this movie will be remembered, because of the expensive truck scene that can't be recreated because trying to recreate such a thing is another $10,000 in the hole. I am in debt. I was going to do a cut angle scene, but instead I did a different cut angle scene because you got to get creative when you're trying to fill up 90 minutes of footage. And so the sunset has returned to the background of this scene. The truck is gone with a sack full of cash. The bus is over there. I didn't pay the bus, so I won't include it, but I want everybody to really appreciate the sunset that I'm including in the winter movie. I want all of you to respect the fact that this is something that you couldn't, wouldn't, shouldn't do. There's only one winter movie, and it's starring me. So all of you can go do a different movie. I'm assuming that my second movie, not the sequel to this one, that's going to be the winter classic. My second movie will be a spring movie. because it just fits, you know? It's just the right move. While the sun is still setting, I'm going to use more footage from here. I'm assuming that this scene is going to be a little bit further away from the cut angle scene that I did, but the hat falling off, it's just good footage, you know? This wig is so good for the winter movie. More like the Winder movie. Gets right through all your clothes and on your hands. Can't have a winter movie without the good old wind. Just making everything uncomfortable. Remember, the winter movie is feature length. You can't take that away from me. Anyway. The winter movie is but a taste of the genius that is the Tacos channel. The Winter Classic will be a prequel to the winter movie. It will basically be made up making of the winter movie. It'll be a lot of one-on-one interviews with actors that refuse to be a part of it. Sponsors / producers that are wondering what I'm doing with all the money that they're giving to me. Sound guys who also refuse to work for me. Makeup artists who refuse to work on the project. I had the idea of one crazy financier giving me all the money of the budget for the winter movie, but, you know, really wanting to put his own ideas in there. Yellow flag at day, sailors delay. Yellow flag at night, sailors get frostbite. It's so cold. For the winter movie, I'd really like there to be nutcrackers. And wind. Lots of wind. For the winter movie, I want snow in every scene. Otherwise, it's not a winter movie. That's the voice of the financier who funds the winter movie. Oh wow, I thought the lake would be frozen over. It's not. The lake is not frozen over. It is very much water. So now you know that the Winter Classic prequel to the winter movie will be a very light comedy of actors and actresses and directors and sound guys and makeup artists and lighting technicians all refusing to work on the winter movie. There's comedy in that. It'll be funny for me to tell actors and actresses that they need to interact with nutcrackers because my financier has told me that every scene needs to occur in bone-chilling temperatures for the art. It's all about the art. My financier will always say, through struggle is born greatness. And I'll keep trying to tell that to the actors, and they'll be like, no, are you paying me? I'd be like, the financier refuses to pay anybody. He'll give us money, but only if it's put into the production of the movie. And then they'll be like, well, you know, hiring actors is part of the production of a movie. I'd be like, I know, he's a jerk. He's a bad guy. But he's funding me. He's giving me the money. So, let's take a little walk. All right, everybody. Welcome to the last scene filmed for the winter movie. It's not going to be the last scene of the movie. That would be too easy on you guys. Let's talk about everything that has gone into the winter movie. Making the winter movie started only about like 5 days ago. The snow hasn't been around for that long. But, you know, giving yourself a ridiculously short deadline sometimes is a good thing. Usually not. It's not advisable to try to make a movie in 5 days. But for the purposes of this exercise, I think we're getting to a successful part. Let's switch the sides because that hand is really cold. You got more movie to watch, but this is the last scene I'm filming for it. So if you thought whatever happened before this scene was bad, just get ready for the thrown together editing that I'm gonna do for after this scene. This scene only has to last about 5 or 6 minutes. Just like the Tristan podcast. Getting back in the ring. Getting ready for the premiere, right? That's the good thing about giving yourself a 5-day deadline. The premiere happens real fast. There's a quick turnaround. I ain't gonna forget about this movie. You know, I'm not working on other projects in between. So, making this movie is just a way to get myself to make a second movie that's better than this movie. But the only way to make a movie better than something else is to have more than one. 2, actually, right? Because it's better. Comparative. It's always good to compare yourself to other people and then compare your movies to other movies. Is this movie better than anything? The answer is no. This is the worst movie. But by making a second one, you know, the worst case scenario is one is the worst movie and then the other one is the second worst movie. But it's still improvement. It's still making something better. And then you go from there. When you make a third movie, you know, you can rank them, I guess. I'm going to finish editing this shortly after I finish filming this scene, and then it's done. And then I post it. And then I have a movie, and you don't. I only have to do 80 minutes, you know? I thought I was going to do 90 minutes, 95 minutes, maybe 100 minutes, but 80 minutes counts. That's releasable. And, you know, if I really wanted to, I could add more to it to make it a longer movie. The Tristan cut. Although I guess both cuts are the Tristan cut. The Tristan cut. The Tristan cut. Tristan cut sounds like a dance. A nice little swiveling tripod top. I just filmed a scene where I climbed a mountain of snow, so I don't need 20 minutes on this one, but I don't think I'm gonna quite get like the 15 minutes that I need, but that's okay. Because motion is emotion. When something sounds like a dance, you better make it into a dance. Tristan cut. And of course the wind is gonna pick up right now and probably slam my camera into the ground, because that's the real spirit of the winter movie, slamming my camera into the ground. At least I'm on grass now, although it's like ice. Anyway, the Tristan cut. This is what the Tristan cut looks like. Cut. And you keep getting close. Cut. So the other person has to back up. Two-person dance. This is a ploy to finish up the last 20 minutes I need for a feature-length movie. A feature-length movie only has to be 80 minutes long. I was wrong about the 90-minute requirement. Although, at like film festivals, you can make it like 40 minutes and they'll consider it a feature. That's ridiculous. 40 minutes? It's like an episode of Arliss, you know? So, walking around in circles is a good metaphor for what this movie is all about. The first person's doing the Tristan cut like this, cut. And the other person's like just trying to get away from it. Trying to, hey, don't punch me, don't kick me. I feel like it's the Tristan cut. Don't you know the dance? Don't you know the Tristan cut? How much longer do I have to make this last? There's gonna be a dog walking in the background in a second. Let's turn it around right over here. Talking in circles is only fun when you're talking to somebody else. Making a whole movie of talking in circles, it's fun in its own way. Hopefully, the next movie will include other human beings. Although talking to a Nutcracker has its perks. It's not so bad. I could try to make a snow angel in the ice. That's a terrible idea. The movie continues. The last scene, all I did was turn the camera around. Wasn't that difficult. But I gotta extend this by like another, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. And then I will feel comfortable that it is enough footage to turn into something that resembles a movie. This coat makes it way more tolerable to stay out in the cold for a little while. Although it's very cold right now. It's a cold day. All right. I guess we can end it there. I brought boxing gloves for a reason. To change up the costumes. This movie has been very much based on costume changes and location changes. Oh, that's the other thing I want to say about the Winter Classic. When I film the Winter Classic, it's all going to be indoors. Fireplaces and hot chocolate. Resembling a movie is what this project is all about. It's like the shadow of a movie. noon. It's a very small shadow, but sometimes you don't even know that the shadow's there. I want this movie to be like an echo of a movie if there was no acoustics there for an echo. I'm not gonna, I'll be pitching the idea of filming outdoors in that movie, but all my outdoor filming, it's for this one. Ice on the ground. It was so warm yesterday. Look at this ice. Can you see it? That's ice. But yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy filming the winter classic a lot more than filming the winter movie. You know, technically every time you speak, there's an echo of some sort. So I want you to think about that when you think about this movie. It's like an echo if there was no solid structure for the sound to bounce off of. It's like if the wind moved the camera ever so slightly. A winter movie, the winter movie. I just really slipped on ice. Oh. My hands are so cold. I encourage everybody to make their own winter movie so that I can say that I inspired other people to make the winter movie. It's all about me. Don't you get it? Don't you understand? Who makes a 90-minute movie by themselves? I am the super ego. Super ego. Come on. And then knock the camera down. That's what I want everybody to think about for this movie. The wind being the director, being the inspiration, being the muse, being the thorn in my side, being the pain in my neck, being, the obstacle standing in my way of making this a much more relaxed movie. That's what I want everybody to think of. I just wanted to get a little bit more footage while the snow is all around. This will definitely not be a third of an act. A minute or two at most, but look at this. This is a good scene. Ah! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you have it. That's the end of the last scene that I'm filming for this. Hopefully that puts together about 80 minutes. If not, I'll throw in some really old footage that has no snow on it. My financier is wrong. This is me standing in snow in front of a mostly frozen lake. Diffuse the whole situation, though. I'm not quite sure how the framing's working right now, but this is definitely more of a unique shot. It shows more effort. than just filming one static scene for 90 minutes. So I wasn't really squinting, my eyes were just closed. See, she was inaccurate on that one too. So, you can't take that away from me. There's a little bit of effort in all of this. I drink a lot of milk, and I mean a lot. Snowdrop. More snow for the second act. While the snow is here, it's good to film it. Recreating a snow scene is not in the budget. Snowdrop. That's it. Hot boy winter. We are making winter history, winter history. Winteristory! This is a movie. When filming a feature-length movie, it's important to eat up as much time as you possibly can. And so you get creative. Welcome to the slow motion portion of a winter movie. Georgia. I hope you've all enjoyed Nutcracker in Savannah, possibly the title of this movie. This took a lot. We are now at the end of the movie, so let this filler really fill in that last gap of movie that I needed in order to have this become an 80-minute film. I gave up on the whole 90-minute thing. Clearly, you saw. You were paying attention to every detail. This is Colorado baseball. Everybody freezes sometimes. It's okay to be cold. My face isn't as red as I thought it was. My camera is just all smudgy.